last night I went and I saw a blues band. Not any old blues band. I saw John Primer and Steve Bell. Now, John Primer, if you look at this picture here, he's the older fella with the guitar. And then Steve Bell, harmonica. Think Willie on the drums, and then I don't know the white guy's name on the bass. Okay, if you know me, I appreciate cool stuff. I appreciate real deals. I just appreciate stuff that should be appreciated, right? And I try not to appreciate stuff that doesn't deserve appreciation. Sometimes I'll be fooled. I'll get tricked. Well, I didn't get tricked this time. Talking about pros. Now, John Primer played with Muddy Waters. Yeah, not just played, because a lot of times musicians will say, "Hey, I played with John Primer. I played with Muddy Waters. I played with whoever," and they did one set down in Louisiana because they were short a drummer or short a guitar player. No, he was a student of Muddy Waters. I don't know the history. I'll give you some histories. Here, boom, 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 pop stuff up every once in a while about John Primer because the guy deserves attention. You know who else deserves attention? Steve Bell. Steve Bell's the guy with the harmonicas. He's got a leather belt that goes around his waist. And all my followers and subscribers can understand that because a lot of you guys do that in the EDC world where you got a knife, you got a flashlight, you got a pry bar, you got stuff on your belt. Well, this guy had harmonicas all the way around his waist. Don't know how old he was, but he played harmonica like he made a deal with the devil a long, long time ago. Looked a little younger, though, and played the harmonica like I've never heard or seen. And I've never been the type of guy that said, "Hey, I got to go to this band to see this harmonica player," ever in my life. Would I have ever said that? Because I'm not like a blues guy, a jazz guy, a R&B guy, a country guy. I like it all, and I don't know shit about any of it. But I know what I like, and I like what I hear. Steve Bell, that guy was the most complimentary instrument player I've ever seen in a band. How he complimented that band at every aspect, every level. He would compliment John Primer. He'd compliment the drummer, compliment the bass with his harmonica playing. And he wasn't out there just to wah, 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 and it just be all about the harmonica. No, he backed off. He did wah, 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 wah. Just like that, man. You know, so you got John Primer.
And I was down in the south and I was drinking my whiskey and
I don't even know where I'm going. But I'm telling you right now, he was going to town on that guitar, like a steel guitar almost. He had that little with this thing on his finger. Don't even know what that is. Liked it. Always like that, especially when it's like an old black guy from the South. And I don't think he's from the South. He's from Chicago. Yeah, playing the blues. But he was down south in Kentucky playing the night before. Stopped over at this boy talking about a whole nother universe. I was in Redkey, Indiana. 20 people there to see a professional blues band. Strangest scene I've ever seen. The venue, hole in the wall, but a theater, and it was super cool. Look at some of these pictures of this place. Middle of nowhere. I felt like, man, if you could pick this up, move it and drop it in Indianapolis. Move it. Drop it in Fort Wayne. Drop it in South Bend. Drop it in Terre Haute. Holy smokes. But Redkey, ghost town. Strangest thing I ever saw. At some point in the concert, I was up and around. I didn't want to sit in a seat. It was weird feeling just sitting there in a theater seat. You know, you got a bar over there, over there, out of the room kind of thing. It was a really neat venue for music, to watch the music. But if you wanted to go grab a bite to eat or go get something to drink, it was kind of cool. The Redkey Theater. I think that's what it's called. But it was strange. The ghost town aspect of it all was so weird. At one point, these guys played. And there was not that many people there because nobody knew they were there. And if so, there was another blues legend, I guess, Anthony Gomes, who's down in Indianapolis. So probably most of the blues fans that were typically going to go to that show that last night were probably down in town to see Gomes. Whatever with that. I don't even know. Couldn't even tell you a Gomes song. I don't even know. But I guess they like him a lot. So I decide, you know what? I'm going to walk around this little town real quick. They played for like 3-4 hours. It's nuts. I can only listen to so much of any kind of music. My buddies, though, they're into it. Check them out. They're old school, older guys, and they like them some blues. And they're good dudes, and they like to just chill. And they were chilled and watching the blues. Not Dick Ritchie. I walked around town. I walked around this town. It was kind of a big, small town. Nothing open. Nothing, not a light, not a car on the road. Not a car on the road, folks. I sat on a chair in front of a storefront that didn't have a store in it. Looked at all the other storefronts, nothing in them, no lights on, not a gas station, not a mini mart, not a pizza shop, not a diner, none of that stuff. But 20 years ago there was. And there would have been probably about 200 people in that theater watching John Primer. Not today. Something wrong in America, folks, and I don't know what it is. But I witnessed an incredible venue, a quaint town, a professional blues band. It's kind of like you're making cookies. Dude, you're sparking. You got the good flour. You got the cane sugar. You got the real chocolate chips. You got the real extracted vanilla. You got it all. And then you pour beer in the mix. Well, that might be good. Let's think of something else. You pour sun-kissed orange soda into the mix and wonder why your cookies taste like crap. The orange soda. This town was missing the orange soda. There wasn't no people. There wasn't nothing. There was no, and a lot of times you go to these ghost towns and they're run down and they're falling in. Now there was a little bit of that, but it was like almost like they'd like paid people to come in and just keep the town standing, cutting the grass a little bit, pulling some of the weeds, not all of them, fixing a board on that wall. They were keeping it up and there's nothing going on. Stranger stuff. I don't get it. Not one damn business. Maybe an antique store. It sure as hell wasn't open at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. But these 4 guys got up on stage. Of course, they're a band and they have chemistry, right? Some bands don't have chemistry, folks. Not like this. They got on this stage. They picked up their instruments. They did maybe a minute's worth of sound check, and boom, they're playing blues like straight off a record player. And I say record player because their merch, they're selling vinyl records. Yeah, that was cool. That was real cool. I almost bought one. And I don't even have a record player. I decided, nah. I wanted to go down that road, but I'm scared where that road's going to take me. Old vintage record player and vinyl records, man. I just might go out of my mind. That might be worse than hallucinogenic drugs. That was strange too. But hey, it was neat. It's a real neat thing to see. So get out there. Check out some blues. There are still some bands that have guys that played with Muddy Waters, that played with some of these great old blues, jazz, all the different genres. And they're still out there playing, folks. With other bands, just quietly in the background playing their bass. The drums. He was like a younger guy too on the drums. He's doing his time right now, playing with John Primer, Steve Bell. Wish I knew the bassist guy's name. He's just like whitish gray hair, younger, older, skinny bass player, white guy, really holding it down. I don't know shit about it, but he was. Yeah, just like that. But then, drum, and he wasn't overwhelming with the drums because sometimes drums go, bah, 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 and you hear, No, it was all going gravy. It was Wavy Gravy with John Primer and Steve Bell at the Redkey Theater, Redkey, Indiana.